A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. This channeling has started with the auspicious conch shell sound, and I'm going to be using my tarot cards, not fully though, but only for supportive guidance so that something can be added on to it. Now, the reason why we create channeled messages or downloads is so that people can release their negative programming, and for a lot of people it's time now to release it. For a lot of people it's time now to let go of the patterns and the loops that they are in, where they no longer have to be in. So a download or a channeled message is created with that thought. And when I say things like, if you want to get personal sessions or readings or therapy, it's not the real reason or goal of this channeling or reading, because I've been noticing a lot of readers and healers are doing readings and channelings not because they are healers or readers. Actually, they are just doing it for earning money, and wherever that money is going, that whatever items they buy from it, whatever materialistic things they do from it, it usually produces more demons, more energy sucking demons, which becomes a problem for actually their own selves. Maximum problem they create for themselves, and then all those who are connected with them or related with them, they also get into problems. So whatever a healer earns, a reader earns, at least 80%, minimum 80%, I would say 70 to 80. Some people actually don't agree with me. Should go into doing good causes to help someone. Also, good healers. I'm not saying this for me, but generally I'm saying anybody who's a good healer, who's a good teacher, who's a good guide, or who's actually having some kind of energy to take care of others, because healing is a very dedicated kind of job. Everyone cannot do it. It's also sometimes very dangerous for some people, because they start doing tarot cards and they start reading and healing, and then they attract people who are there to steal their energy, and they could be posing as a healer or a reader or a therapist. And imagine, I am giving out this information, even though I myself am a healer, still I am saying this because I want everyone to be careful. Everyone should be aware, because in today's world, the trend has changed. The trend is no longer what it used to be. Now, a lot of spiritual people are also there, and a lot of spiritual people are thinking, how should I make it my business? It's good to make it your business, only if why you're doing this business, that reason has to be again based on divine order. So if you're doing a service or you're connected with a cause, then you will get more power, because God will take care of all your needs. Literally, this is true. You'll think of something, the thing will be produced in front of you. So whosoever you heal, as a healer I'm saying, not as a guru, because the master, being a master, giving initiations to people is different, and giving information is different. A master, these are my masters, and these are a lot of people's masters also. You may not be aware about it, but masters are very powerful. Masters can do things, magical things that normal people cannot do. So even healers need masters, because masters heal them. So every time a person comes to us for reading or healing, they are bringing in a lot of demonic possessions, infections. They're bringing in a lot of negativity, patterns. A wholesome person is not going to get reading or healing, right? Somebody who is going through some situation, some issue, is only going to go to a healer. Or the second reason why they want to get healed, or they want to study. So I'm doing both. I'm a teacher as well as a healer, and I'm also an author. But again, this is not my advertisement or promotion, because my masters take care of me. They always connect me with the right people. They always connect me with the good people. Some of them, of course, not all of them are good, but the reason for their connection is really good. I mean, at the end of the day, all's well that ends well. So if somebody is bringing in demons also, it helps me to study the demons. It helps me to analyze the cause of the infection, why human beings have these type of issues, why they have psychological problems or energy problems, which reality are they stuck in. So today's message is actually connected around this similar thing, that I'm being shown about feminines today. Some masculines are also involved in it. So if you really want to heal, for a lot of people, feminines and masculines out there, I want to say that you have to let go of your past memories. You have to let go of all of the negative memories. If they're very stubborn, very painful, then yes, you need to work properly on it. So I feel that there is a very irritational energy around whosoever I'm channeling. Like they're getting irritated with people or with patterns or with some kind of loops, and they're not able to let go of their past. So today the feminine I channeled actually realized via inner work. See, all this work is happening in your chakras, okay? Somebody has made peace with their past. They've made peace with their father energy. They were really upset with their father. So when you make peace with your father energy, with your distorted father energy, the divine masculine is connected with divine mother. The divine feminine is connected with the divine father. So the card that is given to me is telling me that for some of you who resonate with this, something about a situation or a person in your life is not what it appears to be, and you need to trust what your instincts are telling you in order to see past this illusion. Everything is not as it seems. So it could be possible that you're at a certain stage in your healing, in your journey, and you feel like you need to sort things out with your mother. Because when you sort things out with your mother, you will get more clarity about your divine masculine energy as well. See, because many a times the programming you got was not that your mother, we see the narcissistic mother or father always as a very negative person. Most people do that, but sometimes they may not be negative. They could be the people who want you to not trust anyone. They want you to be protected. They themselves create these contradictions which confuse you. They will say, oh, you should go out and meet someone. And then they would tell you stories of how they met someone and it was a disaster, and how they got tortured and they got mugged and they got treated very badly. Or they'll talk about their tales of their own experiences of how the world has been. Most people who get programmed negatively are those people whose parents have overshared with them their own bad experiences and less of good experiences. There has to be a balance of both. There has to be like, okay, they shared with you something good, but they also shared with you something bad. And they should also clarify that, look, this is my experience, it may not be true. And also parents need to be very much careful of what they are passing on to a child. Now, why some of the parents are not able to do it? Look, some things are so natural and organic that even the parent doesn't know when it happens. Like if a child has chosen to be in a certain family as a soul, you make that choice. 100% you can't blame others for everything. And this you realize when you do proper healing. Because a lot of why I mentioned the readers and healers is because a lot of them are actually just only enabling people to believe that everybody outside of you is horrible and bad, and you don't need to do any inner work. So yes, there are narcissistic men and women. Yes, there are horrible men and women. Yes, there are vampires who are ready to steal your energy. But at the same time, you can change it. It's on you, and you can change it because you're watching this message. What if you were not talking about change and awareness, and you would be in a limbo state? Then you would never come across anything, any of this information, and you would never ever get to work on yourself. So biggest gratitude, biggest thank you we need to say to Source and to masters and our spirit guides, that they gave us this awareness that we can change, we can work on ourselves, and the best way to change is by first accepting and acknowledging what we have. We need to look for all the good things in the current reality and current experience. So the moon is telling me over here that there are some illusions, fears and anxieties, basically the subconscious mind and the intuition. So subconscious mind that is programmed, which is also under programming. So subconscious mind cannot be programmed, the conscious mind can be programmed. So the conscious mind is on top of the subconscious mind, not allowing you to connect with the intuition you have. Now the illusions are being shown because the illusions are the ones who carry the fear and anxiety energy. So you as a healer, as a seeker, as a lover, as whatever your situation is, because some of the real genuine healers and readers also watch my content, okay, and they themselves have told me that they went to some healer, they went to some reader, and after that they are in the worst situation ever. They've never felt so horrible. But some of them have also told me that that healer or reader, whatever they put me through, also made me reach to the right person for healing. So in a way, those people also gave us discernment. Why am I talking about it then? Because whatever has happened in the past, it cannot be changed. So everything that went bad in the past, right from the bad relationships, the bad healers, the bad teachers, or family experiences, bad parenting, everything bad, bosses you went through, now you need to leave them in the past. You have to stop giving them your focus and your energy, because your energy is what is giving them the power to destroy your life even more or make things more negative around you. You need to see it like an experience, just as an experience, because on a daily basis we can have good and bad experiences. Now this is the education that parents need to give to their children, because children are at a very young age going to schools and colleges, and they're not spending enough time with their parents, and parents are busy working. I don't say don't work, don't live your life, don't follow your dreams. We all should do what we love, we want to do, why not? But then we also need to create a balance, and we also need to create a mental balance. Like, just because somebody is buying a fancy car doesn't mean you need to have a fancy car. Just because somebody is getting married doesn't mean you need to get married. Just because somebody is going to a certain college to get a certain degree, it means you also have to do it, and it's vice versa. You should do what you want to do. If you want to get a degree, you should do it. If you want to get married, you should do it. And then you cannot be like impatient in the first go. You have to first take the bus ticket or the train ticket or the plane ticket, and you have to think about a certain destination where you're supposed to go. Now, if you have decided to go to a certain destination, then you need to think accordingly, right? That I am on the way right now. Right when you buy the ticket, if you want to be on the destination, that's not a good thing. That's impatience and that's lack of gratitude. We need to be thankful to God that at least we have this much working, this working and the gut working, intuition working, that is allowing us to at least explore what we want to explore. Otherwise, the fear of unknown doesn't allow so many people to do what they want to do, or even just be curious. So you are being curious, you want to know about stuff, you're buying the ticket, you want to go to a certain place, you want to explore and check it out. Some people are so like lucky, I would say. They actually figure things out just by watching other people. So I have a certain experience, and somebody else watches me going through it, and they say, okay, this is what it is going to be for me as well. Like for some things, and for some things, maybe the one who is experiencing it is meant to provide information to other people. Like, look, if you want to be here, this is what you need. You need a backpack, you need a torch, you need mosquito repellent because the weather is like this, you need a blanket, or you need this much money, this is the kind of food you're gonna get. And in some cases, people can also show you things that other people would think it's impossible to achieve. How can you go and live in a place for 3 months or 4 months when you have just 8,000 Indian rupees in your pocket when you leave your house and one air ticket? But I did that, and I shared it with the world that look, this is how I did it. But of course there was a process of doing it. There was a certain application of faith, certain application of chilled out thoughts, certain application of also other people. My uncle was there. If I tell you guys, go to Nepal and live there for 20 days in Kathmandu absolutely free of cost, how can I say that? You don't have your maternal uncle over there to take care of you. My youngest uncle was there and he really loves me. My cousins were there, so I could live for 20 days in Kathmandu absolutely free of cost. And if they come to Delhi, they can live with me absolutely free of cost. So then it makes sense to tell someone that, yeah, even if you have 8,000 Indian rupees and one air ticket, you can go there, live for 20 days. And in those 20 days, now you need to think of way to come back to your house. If you don't want to come back, if you want to stay there, then also you need to figure out ways to stay there. So this kind of information a person can provide you. What are the cool things you can do if you just have only this much money? Or what is it that you can't do? Or how do you get money? Or how do you not get money? Now this is becoming all about money. But let me tell you, this is just an experience. Basically, I was there for my spiritual healing. I wanted to do some kind of course which was not even in Kathmandu. It was somewhere else in Pokhara. You can check out some of my other channels also where I have shared all the school information, and sometimes I share it here, but I'm definitely gonna get more organized from now onwards so that some of the stuff can be actually very helpful for people who are currently traveling or who want to travel. In fact, for those people who want to do volunteering services, you want to take care of animals and voiceless beings and make your karma better, enhance your karma, learn about karma also, learn about service. I feel if you do service without any doership and you do service, fool is coming again and again, you do service without any attachment of what is it going to give me in return, then that type of selfless service takes people very high in their ascension journey. So the fool is now telling me that whosoever is going through this experience, they have forgiven someone important, maybe an old boyfriend, like not old boyfriend age wise, or ex-boyfriend, or maybe somebody who's currently in their life, they've decided to from now onwards not focus on their negativity and work on themselves. Like I spoke to somebody who has been coming to me for counseling time and again. I told them that you also have to stop focusing on the negative behaviors of other, because you cannot do without this person. You don't have substitute. You don't have anyone else taking their place. You don't have more people. You just have somebody in your life which is also taking care of you in many ways. You feel a bit scared of them because you are totally overlooking all the positive things they do to you. I mean, this is definitely coming from someone who's an overthinker. This overthinker, many people are overthinkers. They keep thinking over and over about the negative possibilities and negative things that can happen to them. And they usually externally look out. I mean, they're looking at other people and now they need something or someone to blame. Or they will simply share all these negative talks to the counselor, to the healer, to the therapist, to the mother, father, friend, whosoever, to create more negativity in their life as well as in other people's life. And that's why I say it's not easy to counsel someone, bring someone out of their negative energy. Sometimes you have to listen to things that probably your mind cannot even fathom. You cannot even imagine those things. In your living day-to-day life, you would be like, is it really possible? And it happens with content also. I watch a lot of documentaries and movies of crime and this and that, and I feel like, oh my god, I never thought that someone can do this also. Catfishing stories. It's not like I was not catfished. So whosoever it is, the fool is telling me that if you are the one, or if you, after going through this channeling, this message, if you forgive people, it's not like, why should I forgive them? They were so mean to me. Okay, they were mean to you. Why do you want to carry them in your memory? If they were so mean to you, why do you want to be a person who, even after leaving them, getting separated from them, getting broken up or whatever, ending it, why do you still want to give them that space in your mind? Don't you deserve peace and joy? You also need to take care of yourself just the way you're taking care of other people, right? So kindness is not something that you only give to others. Kindness is something you need to give to yourself. Be kind to yourself also. Be kind yourself to yourself. Don't let these thoughts rule your universe. So whosoever has faith, the universe is on your side. Whosoever is letting all the past and bad stuff go away, like, okay, fine, you stay in the past, I'm not gonna let you affect my current and any life, and you keep checking yourself. So you need to check yourself, how much you are focusing on what's gone or what's coming in future. I'm also being shown that whosoever I'm channeling is a very innocent energy. You are very innocent and very pure. Even if you have done bad things to someone, you yourself, or bad things have happened to you, in all the scenarios, I'm being shown innocent victims and innocent predators. Like, some people are predators, but they don't know why they're acting like a predator. They're that innocent. They want something small and something simple, and they can create a storm for it, because that's how they were programmed. So their innocence and your innocence is still intact, which is why the universe is giving you this information. Because you're innocent, you can be the fool. Only the innocent ones can be the fools. And you need to take care of all the distractions, the negative thoughts, the overthinking, the recklessness. All of that you need to let go. You don't need to take the risk just to prove a point. You can take the risk if you believe in your intuition. You can do things that nobody is attempting to do. Then you can say, yeah, I'm going to do it because I have God on my side, I have faith on my side. But if you're doing it just so you can prove to other people how cool you are, how trendy you are, how nice you are, or how much you deserve to be loved. A lot of people I know, they've done things in their life just because they wanted to fit in, just because they wanted to be liked by other people, just because they wanted to get love and attention. So that love and attention was actually an inner thing. Inside they wanted to be loved, inside they wanted, and they're looking it outside and they're not happy. Even if they have someone to love them or care for them, they're still feeling empty. Some of the people are very blessed. They have people who take care of them. They have very nice people around them. Yet they are not happy. They are constantly upset. Now those people are chilling still. They're chilling and they're going out and they're having fun, and they're like, come on with us. Be happy. No, I'd rather be sad. Why? You don't have to be sad anymore. And this is again showing in the reading 4 of Pentacles, and in this context again 4 of Pentacles is telling me you could be holding on to unhealthy thoughts, possessive thoughts, controlling thoughts, toxic thoughts, not good thoughts, okay? And there could be some kind of blockage. Something that's coming from you only is blocking your chakras, or one chakra or more. You could be in the greed mode, materialism mode, wealth mode. So 4 of Pentacles is actually talking about all of that. But when you heal the 4 of Pentacle energy, when it becomes, and I'm actually guided to talk about the opposite side also, you are going to release toxic people from your life. You are going to release situations that no longer are healthy for you. You're going to let go of the regrets. You're going to let go of the fear. You need to think, if I want something and it's troubling me so much, why do I want it? What part of me is it satisfying? Like, I've watched this really cool video the other day. A scientist, a very scientific minded person, got her, I think, RT-PCR done or MRI scan. Yeah, it was MRI. RT-PCR was for the genes, and MRI was probably for something else. So she got it done. She was sitting with a scientist who was working on toxic relationships or breakups. So how would a person be? How would their brain be after breakup? And it was crazy because a certain part of her brain was well lit. quite interestingly lit. She'd not seen that type of thing before. And the scientist, I was going to say the artist, actually this is also a type of art. So scientist told her that this happens, this type of MRI or this type of light that you're seeing, usually seen in people who have a heroin addiction or some kind of crazy drug addiction. And she was like, oh my God, this information is so helpful and it's so interesting. Why? Because a lot of people are attracting these relationships because somehow they could be addicted to this type of relationship. So they don't need to consume anything to feel that way. They're actually feeling like a person who's addicted to a certain drug which is very intense. They're having this intense experience of sadness and pain, and they're not letting it go. They're not able to let it go, or they don't want to let it go. So when we reverse this energy, Four of Pentacles, we can release this addiction, this habit, this possessiveness, this want, this desire. Desire can never make people happy, and all of the people on internet who are talking about law of attraction and thinking about your desire all day long, daydream about your desire, want your desire, make vision board for your desire, write affirmations to get your desire, they're all teaching you the most nonsensical thing that anyone can learn. Actually, this information is going to make you more miserable and make you suffer more. On the contrary, if you really want to understand what is law of attraction, you need to let go of that want which is connected with the desire. Because when you let go of your desire and that want, your whatever you need, whatever you are supposed to get is gonna walk to you on its own, come to you on its own without you lifting a finger. Okay, so now that we are done with this energy, so I saw a feminine who has gone through tower moment, but she has a very loving father energy. If you had a father with whom you had negative experiences, then you have to like imagine, because see, what you're seeing in biological world is also what you have chosen to do here on planet Earth karmically. So it may not be necessary that as a soul that's what it is all about. You do have a very loving father energy, the provider energy that comes from the divine father. That's why I keep talking about Ram. Ram is whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for love from your parents, then that's a different thing. If you're looking for love from your partner, or you're just working on attracting a very beautiful divine relationship, a masculine who understands you, a man, so that means you're looking for romantic love, the Shiva Shakti inner work that we do via twin flames. So all twin flames, I tell them that you can attract a beautiful relationship and a beautiful partner, but for that you need to first make your own self that beautiful energetically. You need to fall in love with so many aspects about you. You need to enjoy yourself. So before Shiva met Parvati and Shiva married Parvati, or before Ram met Sita, Sita met Ram, or before Radha met Krishna, Krishna met Radha. Actually, with Radha Krishna, it's even more interesting. I would say they are really, Radha and Krishna can teach people a lot about love, because they never got married and they never even did anything bad or technically wrong with their own partners. They got married to different people, but they were not even lovers in the way that people call them lovers. They loved each other. They are man and woman. They loved each other intensely, a lot. They really cared for each other. They cried for each other whenever they would miss each other. But the world around them was only seeing them as man and woman. Or while growing up, when they were kids, then that was not a problem. But they got separated in childhood. It so happens to a lot of kids who are really good friends in childhood. They love each other a lot. But because the parents are moving, or because some adult has something and the child has to go along, they move and they go to another country, or the school gets changed. In today's scenario, I'm saying. But the love in their heart always stays for that person. But for that, their relationship also has to be like that. It cannot be a passing crush or a passing thought. It has to be the type of bonding that Radha and Krishna has as kids. So even when they were growing up, they were always thinking well for each other. And Radha was elder to Krishna. She got married much before. She didn't even know. She didn't even think, because Radha, Krishna, and there were other gopis also. The whole village loved Krishna and Krishna loved them. He also had many male friends who loved him dearly, like Sudama and Krishna story is also there, because Sudama was also his childhood friend and they met in the Gurukul, then they got separated, and then Sudama realized some things and he went to meet Krishna, and the story is there, you can watch it online. So whosoever I'm channeling right now, you also are suffering or you have been miserable in the past, because God wants you to learn, your own soul wants you to learn about love. Every aspect of love, from misery to suffering to union to joy to happiness to this, that, because every aspect of it is actually coming from you only, within you. It's all oozing out from you, everything. So Tower moment has already happened. Some kind of unavoidable, sudden, unexpected change took place. And the Tower moment is usually followed by something positive. So it's not bad. But yeah, when it happens, definitely it doesn't feel nice. So what do? The more we have faith, the more we increase faith in our energy, the more we work on chakras, the more we meditate. People are not meditating enough. They are not doing the correct inner work. They are not reading the correct books, the right books. They are not doing all those things. They are still in addiction. They are still drinking, smoking, going out in casual relationships, in and out, this and that, whatever. They're still negative. They're still not forgiving people. And then they say, why my life is not changing? Some of the effort we also need to make, because when we walk 10 steps, source will walk 100 steps for you. Okay, I'm not going to make any content that is enabling people to not look within. Okay, I want to make all this reading that I'm doing, I'm being guided to do so that more and more people are enabled towards going within and healing themselves, because everything is happening inside of you. It might appear that things are happening externally, but they are not. Yeah, it does appear like that I'm sitting here on a table and creating this message, but actually it's you. You are the one who has created this message in your reality, this video, this content. You are the one who created the window of opportunity for someone else to share this message with you, because it's your soul who's the creator of your reality and also the creator of all the experiences. So we can see it in a negative way, we can see it in a positive way, or we can see it in a neutral way. It's all something that we can do. So Queen of Cups, intelligent, feminine energy, supportive, caring towards you, this type of energy. So either you see it outside or you see it like you need to build that in you. Okay, becoming mindful of how you treat people and how others treating you, and how to just ignore. Sometimes we just need to learn to ignore. Om Ignoraye Namaha. That's also one mantra that you can think about. Here, if you're from India, you know what's Om and what's Namaha. Om Ignoraye Namaha. If you're from the West, because I have a lot of people from the Western world also who are watching this content. In fact, more percentage of Westerners is there in comparison with Indian people. So that's why I'm making this in English right now. So Om Ignoraye Namaha means you don't have to put your mind or give your energy or attention or your focus to things that don't need your time, energy, focus, attention, anything. They just should go into the ignore mode. Maybe it's good for them also that you're ignoring them, or maybe it's good for you that in some ways, in many ways, if you ignore them, you're happy and they're also happy if you ignore them. Like, you understand, both of you are happy. that party also in yourself also. So yes, Queen of Cups energy is activated, the heart chakra energy, the emotion, the water energy. We need to flow like the water, we need to flow like the river, become the big sea. And this is where I actually want to close the reading, but I've got the Hierophant as well. So a counselor, a mentor can provide you with wisdom and guidance to get a perfect solution to your problem, or it could be a religious person also in this situation, like you go to a temple or you go to the church. You're not expecting the church to give you the answers or the temple to give you the answers, but you might. Or it's like the inner Hierophant in you, the Hierophant energy. The wise counsel is also inside of you, as I say. We are the ones. In my initial videos when I created this channel, I made 1 minute video which said that self-talk really can change your life. And it's true. You say negative things to yourself, you're gonna feel horrible. But if you learn to say positive things to yourself, like the way we help others, the way we get other people, bring other people out of negativity, we need to do the same to us. Yeah, you might have those type of negative people also who are just so negative that sweet words and kind words and counseling cannot help. A scolding will help. So sometimes you can scold yourself out of it also, like, hey, what you doing, man? Why you thinking all this about yourself? You don't need to. So if needed, please scold yourself out of it or do it lovingly, but the motto is for you to get out of your negative state. It's a wrong thinking to feel unworthy for love. You deserve to be loved, you deserve to be looked after, or you deserve just to be. Just be a bee, just be a flower, just be a human being, just be the mango tree or the water or the sky or the sun or whatever you want to be. You can be whatever God has made you, you can be. And for that, you don't need to go through all of this. And if you do as well, like if a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, the caterpillar doesn't complain, why I have to go through this process of transformation, why God I have to become a butterfly and blah blah blah. God is like, this is it, this is what it is. You need to transform from one to another, from this to that. You have to go through a process. Don't call this process something negative or positive. It's just a process. So whosoever I channel today, I saw this feminine with a very loving man who is extremely caring, protective, understanding. I saw this feminine's father energy improved. I saw this feminine's basically career wise, she didn't have to do much because everybody around was taking care of her. That can also be a type of healed feminine energy, when you are not really acting as a provider. And this is for the collective. Don't feel guilty for who you are. If you feel ever anything, guilt or anything, it has to be there to help you become an evolved being. Not being guilty for normal natural things. If a woman is getting a period, she should not be feeling guilty about it. You know, if a man is going through some kind of puberty phase as a child, he should not be made feel guilty about it. Men and women are born in a certain way to do certain things, and more than men and women, we are all souls experiencing how it is to be in a human body. And then as a masculine expression or a feminine expression. That's all that it is. To anybody who's also from the LGBT community, look, I've known transgenders all my life. Okay, I've seen them. And I was blessed by a transgender. But being a transgender biological transgender is not the same as choosing to be gay or lesbian. It's two different things. What a biological transgender goes through is something that they've organically, naturally, their soul has chosen to do so. And if you are going through similar thing that a biological transgender is going through, and you want to know why, at the core, why you want to be someone who's both a man and a woman, because if you're a gay or lesbian, or if you're transitioning, you're going to be a man and a woman in the same body, because you, no matter what you do, no matter what procedures you do, there'll always be certain elements and aspects of the masculine or feminine body, gender wise, biological, are going to stay with you. A trans man, like a woman who transitions to become a male, still would go through periods, still would go through a lot of other hormonal activity. Some of them can be suppressed via medicines or surgery or whatever they are doing these days, but some of them will always stay no matter what you do. Like the sun and the moon, they always talk about the movies that talk about a dystopian future or some kind of other reality. The moon and the sun is always present. Either the sun is present or the moon is present. Even in their minds, they still know. Even if they're in Antarctica, they know somewhere there's sun. That's why there's light. Like Interstellar, they were looking for different worlds so that they could save earthlings, or they could save people, and they could still continue to raise a race of human beings. And they visited number of worlds, but the concept of light and dark still remained. That's what moon and sun are actually trying to show you, the concept of light and dark. So whatever we have on this planet, whatever has been given to us, it's amazing because it can help us to figure out the reason why we are here. Who am I and why am I here? What am I doing here? I will see you in the next one. One love, peace out, and victory to Ram.